Good evening, everybody. Jeff Hadley. I'm the Chief of Police for the Chatham County Police Department. I'm accompanied this evening by Will Clark with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This afternoon, Chatham County Police Department detectives arrested 22-year-old Quinton Simon and charged her with malice murder, concealing the death of another person, false reporting, and making false statements in connection with the disappearance and death of her son, 20-month-old Quinton Simon. Quinton Simon is being held at the Chatham County Detention Center and is awaiting a bond hearing. We do not anticipate any other arrests in this case. She has been the sole suspect from the beginning. On Friday, our search teams at the Waste Management landfill found what they believed were human remains. This afternoon, the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia confirmed that they are, in fact, human remains. Additional testing, including a DNA analysis, is being conducted, and we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quinton's. This is a heartbreaking development for everyone who loved Quinton, for the many people who came to know him after his disappearance, and for our department. When we first received the call that Quinton was missing, we were hopeful that we would find him alive and unharmed. But as we have been telling you for weeks, all of our evidence pointed to his mother being responsible for his death and disappearance, and his remains being found in the landfill. I would like to thank the many people and agencies who worked hard to ensure that Quinton was found, that he would have a proper resting place, and that justice would be served. First and foremost, I want to thank the FBI. We are incredibly grateful for their invaluable assistance. Their expertise, their manpower, resources, and guidance are unmatched and were crucial in our efforts to find Quinton. They were on the scene within 3 hours of Quinton being reported missing and have assisted with every aspect of this investigation. The resources they poured into the landfill search are extraordinary and are the reason that we were able to find Quinton. I can't thank them enough. Chatham County Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division also deserves special recognition. Their devotion to Quinton, to making sure this crime did not go unsolved, is an example of police work at its finest. Our detectives worked tirelessly and were determined to follow every lead and uncover every piece of evidence in this case. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Department of Natural Resources all had officers searching the landfill alongside our officers and the FBI. The support of the Chatham County Emergency Management Agency, Chatham Emergency Services, Chatham Occupational Safety and Health, Savannah Police, and Savannah Fire also were invaluable in this massive effort. Finally, I would like to thank the many people who showed their support for our department during this incredibly difficult and important investigation. We appreciate those who kept faith in the system and waited patiently for evidence we needed to make sure Quinton has every opportunity to receive the justice he deserves. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Will Clark, who has some comments from the FBI.
Good evening. My name is Will Clark. I'm the Senior Supervisory Resident Agent of the Savannah and Brunswick offices of the FBI. 1 month ago, we began this landfill search alongside Chatham County Police Department with one purpose in mind, and that was to find Quinton and to bring him home. On Friday, search crews from the FBI and Chatham County found what we preliminarily believe are partial remains from a human child. Those bones were immediately sent to our lab in Quantico, Virginia. Additional testing for potential confirmation is now underway. It could be days before we have final results. What happened to this 20-month-old child is unthinkable. No child should be harmed by anyone, let alone the person in their lives that should be their protector. This investigation does not end here. There is more work to do. The FBI, along with our law enforcement partners, will continue to find justice for Quinton. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll appreciate that. We'll try to answer some questions that you may have. Just be mindful that there's many we may not be able to answer, but we'll be willing to take some questions at this time.
You actually wanted that you guys found bones in the landfill? Is that?
We found human remains, yes, ma'am.
Chief, do you believe the
charged
point that
Leilani with
Quinton was
murder.
put in that dumpster, do you believe that he was alive then or had died before he was in the dumpster and then made it to the landfill?
Could you, I didn't hear the first part, I'm
Do
sorry.
you believe that Quinton Simon was alive when he was in the landfill? Do you believe he died before he was put in that dumpster?
I can't answer that question.
You've charged Leilani with murder. Can you speak on whether you think it was accidental or intentional?
I can't speak to that.
Can you talk a little bit about what evidence you all confirmed or learned on Friday led you all to go ahead and make that arrest specifically for today versus earlier on?
Well, as we had said from the beginning with the landfill, we had every belief that Quinton was there in the landfill. Having found what we found on Friday and the preliminary findings from the FBI that we got today led us to make an arrest today. We feel that we have a very strong case. We have put thousands of hours into this, and we believed that this was the right move today to be able to do that. She doesn't deserve a Thanksgiving, quite frankly, if I can go off script a little bit. Quinton deserves that.
You said that you didn't believe any other arrests would be made. Are you guys looking into Billy Joe at all?
We are not.
And so you, just to confirm, kind of clarify that you all were looking to find some sort of remains from the body to go ahead and move forward with an arrest.
That's correct.
Chief, would the charges have been the same in this case had you not made that discovery on Friday? Say if this case had have continued and the search found nothing in the landfill, would you still have been able to make a case for Quinton to have justice, or how significant was this find?
Well, it was very significant, obviously, for obvious reasons. We do believe we had a strong case otherwise, but that would have been in counsel with the Chatham County District Attorney's Office, but we believe we had a strong case otherwise.
You've certainly been very personal about this, and you said at that landfill that day with the picture behind you, you said, we want to make sure we bring Quinton home and we give him a final place of rest. We wanted him to be able to make sure he wasn't in that dump. On Friday, how personal was that find for you?
Well, it was very personal, quite frankly. I mean, there's a lot of aspects to that. I mean, knowing the hard work that went into this investigation, everybody, not just Chatham County Police Department, but everybody that chipped in, the FBI, GBI, DNR, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the civilians, you name it, from A to Z, we were 100% committed to bringing justice for Quinton. And to appreciate the amount of human effort, the amount of human emotion that goes into a case like this, and to appreciate, hopefully, that this comes to a conclusion in terms of a conviction and things of that nature. You know, you have a lot of emotions about that. You also have a lot of emotions as just a general human being, as a person who has children. You see the impact that has on people. So if you step back and take a moment to kind of absorb that, I think that if you didn't have any feelings about that, you might have to ask yourself a few questions.
Chief,
Was
you-
there any
Status
evidence
of
collected
flagrant
outside of the search in the landfill, the remains that you guys found on Friday? Was there any evidence you guys found in the searches you guys did of the pool, cell phones, or computers, or anything that also led to the arrest?
I can't answer that.
Has Leilani's status as a flagrant changed, or did it change prior to the arrest?
No.
Chief, you say this is preliminary, what, you would assume there isn't other human remains in that landfill, but until you get it fully 100% confirmed that these are Quinton's remains, what makes you confident to make the arrest today?
I can't get into the high level of detail, but just on some of the preliminary information that we got from the FBI, we have a high level of confidence that those are Quinton's remains. And we felt that we needed to make the arrest today because that was the right thing to do.
Chief, there was
When
a
you
lot
say
of pressure
human
in the last.
remains, what kind of remains are we talking when you say human remains? Any more specific details about?
No, ma'am. Go ahead, Brent.
Chief, this case has been one that has made national news.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of pressure against you personally, with your name out of the mouths of protesters, out of the mouths of the people in the community. You've gotten a lot of pressure about making this arrest. Standing here today and knowing that you have this key piece of evidence, as you just said, what kind of message do you send to the community? For the people, A, that had your back, that said, yes, we're going to wait on the police to do this, and then to the people who said this arrest should have happened almost 50 days ago.
Well, you know, I didn't honestly feel a lot of pressure, quite frankly, only because I believed in our investigative process, the expertise that we were seeking that was around us, having a little bit of experience, in this profession. I understood people's perspective. I understood that, some people had their own strong feelings about when an arrest should be made and things that were going on. But we stayed focused on what we know and what we know how to do. And in conjunction with the FBI, we stayed the course. And so to those folks that supported us, to the citizens that believed in us and believed in our department, I thank you. And for those that had questions, that's their right to do so. This is America. You can have all the opinions you want. But, I'm just so proud of our team and where we're at today.
As
The
far as
landfill search
today's
over?
conclusion, do you feel like there's a sense of relief as far as you all, officers, FBI agents, to come to an arrest, to go ahead and move forward with this case?
Sure there is. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say that there was, some weight lifted off of the organization and particularly those detectives and investigators who were completely and 100% committed to seeking justice for Quinton. So there is a little bit of relief, but be mindful there's still a lot of work to do, and they're dedicated to doing that, and we want to see this to successful prosecution.